I want to give you a good success story about how to write CTAs this year. Okay, so calls to action. So let me first talk to you the top CTAs that you need to really pay attention to. So let's say you want to boost subscriptions for your underwear newsletter, or you want to make people emotional about a sweat-proof T-shirt that you have. It's important to understand that no matter what you're trying to really get at, whether you have a product, a tangible product, or a service, having a good CTA can really help you big time. Okay, so I want to share with you how the pros write CTAs and how they get maximum engagement. The first thing is you want to match your CTA to your audience. It's important to understand that storytelling has to be at the core of your CTA, right? But if the CTA doesn't resonate with your target audience, you're not going to get clicks. So randomly glance at 100 calls to action and you are bound to see buy now and shop now at least a few times. And why not? They lead with a strong action verb and they work, right? But the thing is that you want to have your company tailor your CTA to match the audience's needs and shopping habits. If you know your audience pretty well, you know what shopping habits they have. Okay, this is kind of cool. So if you take Amazon's ads, for example, Amazon is often used to buy gifts for the whole family. It's a necessity. So there are CTAs for her, for him, and for kids. Make finding the perfect product quick and simple. Okay, so that's kind of cool. You are really because Amazon actually have been studying their audience for years, even decades. So this semi-personalized CTAs remove one layer of friction from the buying process. So if the button just says shop now, the shopper will get to a generic landing page and need to filter for the type of person they are shopping for. Instead, they get to where they need to be one click faster. Okay, so this is important. And once you want to personalize the CTA, make sure you are constantly updating it. So if you have it today, maybe 1 month from now, you might want to update it. So if you want to write a CTA such as like if you want to write a CTA like a pro, you want to use something called a pre-CTA. Okay, so I suppose a company that sells underwear is well versed in making a lot out of a little, right? So this is important. But when you think about a lot of DTC brands, they really go above, okay? And they understand the importance of CTAs, especially CTA buttons. They are rounded. I'll talk about that later on. CTA buttons are essential for driving clicks, but best practices suggest limiting them to just 3 or 4 words. So that's actually a tight window to make a compelling case for action, okay? But you want to understand that basically you are trying to catch your audience's attention right off the bat. So you want to really understand that if you can catch your audience within 1 or 2 seconds, you have won the deal already, okay? Especially when you reach out to them on social media, where you have lots of potential for distraction and you do not want to really distract your followers, okay? And so the pre CTA adds an extra layer of motivation, making the main CTA more persuasive. So the voice, the tone, and the tactic all must work in sync to make sure that your CTA is really powerful. Okay, so this is important. So one thing I want you to remember here is that if you have to use a pre CTA for your message, make sure that you understand pretty well what resonates with your audience, what kind of message, what kind of storytelling your audience is going to listen to. Your audience is going to really pay attention to, because otherwise you'll be just wasting your money. You'll be wasting your efforts. You'll be wasting your resources. Okay. And one thing I want to say last when it comes to pre CTA is that make sure your pre CTA is actually timeless. It's not really bound to a specific time of the year. That way, you know it's evergreen and it can run. It can really run and be valid anytime. You have to be emotional and empathetic. If you want to write CTAs like pros do, emotion and empathy are going to help you big time. You have to understand your customers have a problem. Your readers have a pain point. Your users have something that's bothering them, right? And you can solve it. So your best CTA will not only say that, but it will say it in a way that lets your customers feel seen. Okay, this is important. So basically, you want to be emotional, you want to be empathetic, okay, and so you are able to understand that you understand, like you're able to understand what exactly is causing frustration for your audience. Okay, you want to create maybe content that leverages the concept of facing your fears, or even like you want to leverage the message that customers have to face their fears, and also through your message capture attention by showing, let's say, stuff that they really your customers cares about. Okay, your customers care about. And one thing I want to say here is that when you are emotional, you're not only creating a deeper level of connection with your audience, and that's going to help you because they will feel understood. Your audience, for once, will feel understood, and you're able to actually to have lots of clicks. You will increase your click through rates big time because if your customers feel like you're speaking to them directly as opposed to you marketing to them, you are going to have more clicks than ever. Okay, and that's what you want. You want to really pay attention to emotion in your CTAs. And one thing I have to say here is that now the emotion that I'm speaking about, the words that you have to use have to depend on the location where you are actually you on where you are at. Okay, your city and state, or even your country. Okay, or even your continent. Every area has different cultural lore, if you will, and the culture or the traditions in your area will dictate what kind of emotion, what kind of empathy journey you want to really jump on. If you want to really write compelling CTAs, you want to foster that FOMO. Okay, FOMO, fear of missing out. Now you might be thinking, well, FOMO feels a little cliche, but hey, listen. Whether cliche or not, there is a reason it still comes up in so many copywriting tutorials. And the reason is that it works, okay? It really works. So basically, whether you are selling something that has urgency bound to it, or something that's just you can buy every time of the year, FOMO really FOMO is usually short and to the point, but very clever because it makes you feel like you've lost something that you had. Imagine that. You've lost something you had, even though you didn't have it. You never had it in the first place. So the ability to actually create that psychological gap in you, in clients, is what really causes FOMO to be very, very powerful. Okay. It's not about tricking the buyer. It's not about tricking the customer. It's about making sure that you are awakening in them a need they already had anyway, because FOMO is not creating a new need. Somebody who's not interested in buying sports shoes, even if you create FOMO, they're not going to buy sports shoes. But somebody who already works out, somebody who already runs, if you are able to have the right FOMO content and present it to them in a clear manner, they'll jump on it. Okay, and this CTA works so well because people who see it have made the product part of their workflow already. Okay, that's an important element to pay attention to. And FOMO works best when it's tied to a sense of urgency. Okay, so one thing that would really make it even better is a deadline. So if customers see a deadline timer, let's say right below it with a countdown, it will make the customer actually act even faster. That's what research has shown across more than 180 countries. Okay, so this is an important element to think about. So just be sure that again you have some kind of urgency attached to your products. So another way to write compelling CTAs has to deal with asking, educating, and connecting. Okay, so basically, you when you're trying to really trigger actions from your readers or your customers, or your prospects, if they feel like you are actually asking, educating, and connecting, they'll be more likely to actually connect. Okay, because you can ask maybe the audience a question and simply educate them on what you offer. This strategy also provides a way to get in contact with your business, which is the action you are calling them to do in the first place. Okay, so CTAs are also a fantastic place to include one final hit of social proof. Okay, for instance, you can place it in the PS. So the PS is an extra touch that most businesses like to give, like to have, to give additional, to actually convey additional experience about their products, their services, or something else. Okay. Now there are three more elements when it comes to this kind of CTAs. You can actually, you want to use verbs that are energetic, verbs that are rare, that are unexpected. You also want to talk about the you want to talk clearly about pricing. So don't be non-transparent. Be as transparent as possible about pricing. That's going to really endear the audience to your message. And also, you want to make it easy for the audience to make a decision. Okay. So, because what you want to do here is that you want to reduce perceived friction. Okay. This is an important element. So, just ask your audience a question, educate them on the offer, and provide a way to connect. So, ask, educate, and connect. Pretty straightforward. A simple trifecta for you to really start converting this year. So, this is really fantastic. Just make sure that you have bold colors, and those colors have to fit with your brand, with your existing brand. That way, you are able to really convert faster. Also, if you want to learn how the pros write CTAs, you want to try the cliffhanger approach. That's a pretty interesting one. The thing is that if you think about the cliffhanger approach, you are speaking about a sneaky little tactic for cranking reader curiosity, okay, up to 11, 15, 20, or 25, okay? So, for instance, you can say, find out what's in tomorrow's blog post, for instance, or you can just say something that really pushes them to wait for the next the next products, okay? So, basically, the cool thing about cliffhangers is that you are able to actually create that sense of urgency in a very specific manner. Now, of course, what you are really offering the customer has to make sense. Otherwise, people are not going to wait around for whatever you are offering. Okay, so just be careful there. And so offer a cliffhanger. Okay, remember that the payoff must match the wait, no matter how you use it. So the longer the build up, the bigger the benefits. So for small stakes, asking people to click to the next page is appropriate. Don't expect them to give you all their contact details or come back a week later for a small tidbit of information, though, okay? So be very careful there. You also want to be excruciatingly explicit, okay? And the reason why clarity is going to help you. Clarity is going to instill an extra layer of credibility to your CTA, okay? So you want to have CTAs that are very clear, okay? And you want to really talk about things like what does the customer need to do? When will he or she get it, okay? And it's important to understand that what kind of value are you adding to the customer's life, okay? Be excruciatingly explicit. The more explicit you are, the better you are going to get results because folks like to have clarity. And if you are transparent right off the bat, then people know that you're not playing games. Because the worst thing is for customers to start thinking that you are playing games and you're just out there to get their data without giving something of substance in return. So if you are trying to write compelling CTAs, don't actually tell the customers that you are going to reward them. Let's say 1 month from now. Okay, you want to offer an instant benefit. We live in a world right now where people want to see things right away. Okay, none of us like waiting when a good thing is headed our way. You don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so it's important to understand that you want to really make sure that you offer an instant benefit. Let me give you a case in point. How many times do you tap the track my shipment link on every Amazon order? Okay. So you want to understand that you want to, for your business, you want to really capitalize on this psychological trigger. Okay. So this CTA actually, this kind of CTA is kind of cool because you can understand the entire message in a millisecond, and second, it promises instant gratification. So you are able to get things done right away. And the message is so clear. Here is what you get, here is how to get it, and implied, you get it right now. And people love actually the fact that they are getting their stuff right now, not tomorrow, not the other day around, okay? And this is what you want. And you want to use powerful powerful action verbs, okay, to really supplement your strategy. One thing I want to say here is that basically, when it comes to having this kind of a CTA, you just have to make sure that your benefit that you're offering instantly actually is worth getting. Otherwise, if you're offering something for free and it's instant, but it has no clear value or no substantive value to the reader or to the user, it's not worth it. Okay, this is important. And what I want to say also is that when you think about CTAs in general, you have to make sure that your CTA actually is written in a way that resonates with your audience. In other words, you write it in the same way that your audience speaks. So if you are reaching out to a younger audience, you use words that resonates to them. If you're speaking to an older audience, you use terminology that resonates with them. The way you talk to, let's say, 18 to 25 years old, it's not the same way you talk to folks who are 60, like seniors, for instance. So you always have to use a CTA wording that really matches whatever your target audience can expect to hear. That way, you would have done a good job at understanding them, and also increasing the number of clicks that you get from your campaigns. So, as a coda into this conversation, I spoke to you about how to write compelling CTAs. I gave you the top CTAs and now the coda. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.